All right, here we go on a Monday, May 12th, 2025. He's Chase Younts at YountsChase32. I'm Alex Frank at Frankie_Natty, our respective Twitter handles, and this is the Waiting All Day for Sunday Night podcast. Chase, we've got some news.
We do got some news. I don't know why I
some
said like that.
Developing news. We've got some. You may have heard or seen this morning on the Today Show. Do you hear this? Do you hear this song?
Beauty. It's beauty.
We have a game to talk about.
We do. An actual game to talk about.
Opening night kickoff. Announced this morning on the Today Show by Mr. Sunday Night Football himself, Mike Tirico. And it's a familiar matchup, Chase, on Sunday Night Football.
I'm so glad that they got this game back on there. One more thing. Do I sound good? I want to make – do I sound good?
You sound good.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure because the matchup sounds great. It's Cowboys-Eagles. It's the most frequent matchup on SNF. I know it's not the actual as the Sunday Night Football game, but hey, it's on NBC. It's to open up the season. I'm excited for this matchup, and people are like, oh, I hate seeing Dallas in primetime and everything else. Man, if you don't like Dallas and Philadelphia on NBC, this isn't the sport for you, man. But this is an awesome matchup to start the season off. Two teams that truly hate each other and two fan bases that are very funny to watch from the behind the scenes duking it out. So I'm excited to see that one come out on Thursday, September 4th.
Exactly. If you're not a fan of this matchup, fine. Don't watch it. 25 million people and more than that will watch it, including the two of us. We will be watching this game. The NFL got this right. Okay, this is the 20th season of Sunday Night Football on NBC. They're not messing around with their schedule this season. To have America's team face America's game's defending, reigning world champions in the first game on the road to Super Bowl 60, ahead of its 250th year as a country, the United States of America, this matchup just makes sense. When was the last time you got to hype up a Cowboys-Eagles matchup for 4 months? No, wait, it's the first game. The first game on the schedule. Like when we hear training camp reports from, Jane Slater or whoever's out at Oxnard, California with the Cowboys, or Sal Palantonio or Tim McManus from Philadelphia on ESPN. When we hear training camp reports, we're going to hear some variation. All of this leads to the season opener between the Cowboys and the Eagles in Philadelphia. Like, how cool is that going to be?
Again, it's something that we haven't experienced.
No.
We haven't experienced this.
By the way, if you're Dallas, you can't just treat this as, like, we may hear Jerry Jones or Brian Schottenheimer, their new head coach. By the way, his first game as the head coach of the Cowboys. Well, here you go. Excuse me. I'm so excited. I can contain myself. Go ahead. Excuse me. Yeah, how about that for you? Anyway, so we've got that element to this game. And then on top of that, like, even if the players say, oh, yeah, it's just another game. It's just one game. All 17 games count the same. Do you know how badly the Eagles beat you last year if you're the Dallas Cowboys?
I would hope that they have that posted on the locker room everywhere.
Do you know the exact combined final score? Like, if I asked you, do you know what the combined score of the two games was last year?
Not off the top of my head, but I know it's paramount.
It's 75-13. Forget that. It's an average of 31 points per margin of victory for the Eagles and margin of defeat for the Cowboys. This is your division rival. This is your most intense, passionate rivalry. You can't just treat this as like one game. After 4 months of waiting all summer for Sunday night or opening night, in this case, if you go into Philadelphia and get your butts kicked again, you better believe on Friday, all the sports talk shows, this podcast, we are going to literally take or give heat at the Dallas Cowboys. Because you cannot go into Philadelphia and get blown out again if you want any shot at contending this season.
An interesting note on that, and I know obviously teams have changed over the years and stuff. Dak Prescott's 9-4 against the Philadelphia Eagles in his career and did not get a chance at Philadelphia this past season. The last time Dak Prescott played against the Philadelphia Eagles was on Sunday Night Football in 2023, a game in which the entire tides changed for the NFC East when Dallas got hot and Philly got cold, and the Cowboys ended up winning the division, and Philly ended up falling down to the wild card, but both of them obviously getting bounced that same weekend. But off the note, I mean, you're looking at the most frequent SNF matchup on opening night in the 20th season of SNF. So go back to your roots, go back to your literal bread and butter of a matchup. And you're seeing the amount of stars that are on the field for the Eagles and the literal star of the NFL, and they're going against each other as rivals. George, I'm going to tell you this. What I would love to see, the greedy version of Chase as an NFL fan or an SNF viewer, would love to see George Pickens score an opening drive touchdown and literally just taunt the Philadelphia fans. And I just want to see what the exchange and reaction is between the two. Because it might have to turn out to have some type of like warfare there. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
This is like, I was thinking about that earlier today. Like the drama that George Pickens could potentially bring to an organization that already lives with drama or on drama, and all of that's going to parlay in for 4 months now, leading into opening night. We get to see the Dallas Cowboys with George Pickens right off the bat to start the season. I mean, how great is this? Like sometimes the answer is right in front of you. You have to go with what gets the best viewers. Again, if you're upset that this is the first game of the season, and if you say you're not going to watch it, fine, don't. Like 25 plus million people will tune in and will watch the latest edition of one of the most intense, passionate rivalries in all of the NFL and all of sports, quite frankly. And there are so many storylines going into this game. Is Dak Prescott even healthy? What kind of mindset or headspace is Micah Parsons going to be in going into this game? And then on top of that, we get to watch Saquon Barkley. We get to watch Jalen Hurts. This is also the Eagles' first game without Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator. So like there's a lot going into this that I'm really excited for with this matchup. Dak's going to play. And by the way, this is the 18th time that these two teams are going to play on Sunday Night Football since 2006. How about that?
Again, it's going back with your bread and butter. It's a matchup that has seen itself in primetime way more times than not. In 2021, they didn't play on NBC at all. They played on ESPN both times, ESPN and ABC. And then you looked at this past year, that was the first time that probably in our lifetimes that matchup was not in a primetime slot at all at night. I mean, this was new territory, and it was like, this is too weird. Let's get them back to normal. And when you mention, okay, like the Cowboys, like we don't like watching the Cowboys on primetime, blah, blah, blah. There's two things. One time Chris Collinsworth said this, I think it was in some article, if the Cowboys were able to play every single game on NBC, they would do it. NBC would broadcast it, just like how Notre Dame pretty much plays all their home games on NBC. I'm pretty sure the NFL would probably want to do that, you know? They would. But again, I'm just a college kid. But I want to say, you look at the other aspect of it, the last time the Cowboys played on opening night was against the Bucs. All right? They played against Tom Brady and the Bucs. That was a fantastic game. Huge national draw. It's the brand versus Brady and the Bucs off the Super Bowl. And then you go back 13 years before, and they played on a Wednesday night against the New York Giants. It's a big-time NFC East rivalry. The Cowboys won that game. Now you're looking at this one. It's the brand. The D stands for drama, as Al Michaels and everyone else would say. And the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a big-time rivalry. Why? Like the answer, like you said, Alex, is right in front of you. This is not a trick question. The answer is very easy, and it's large and in charge.
Yeah, and there were a lot of great options for this game, let's be honest. I mean, we floated Washington out there, a rematch of the NFC Championship game. We floated Detroit out there, the NFC Championship game that we didn't get, but now that's going to be saved for later in the season, which is good. I mean, you even floated Denver. Excuse me, you floated the Broncos. This up-and-coming Broncos team, Bo Nix against the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. And then I floated the Rams because they played twice on Sunday Night Football on NBC last year, including the playoffs. Two compelling games at Saquon Barkley. But sometimes you have to just simplify things and say Cowboys, Eagles. It always delivers. This matchup last year wasn't on primetime, as you said. It wasn't even a 425 game on Fox, for crying out loud, either of the two matchups. Here's the other thing that I think is interesting going into this game. Last year, the Eagles swept the Cowboys. Chase, if you had to guess the last time prior to 2024, the last time the Eagles swept the Cowboys, what year do you think that happened?
Last time the Eagles swept the Cowboys? I'm going to go on ahead and say 2010.
You're actually very, very close. It happened in 2011.
Ah, wow. Oh.
It happened in 2011. Now, ironically, both teams didn't make the playoffs that year. The Giants, remember, made the playoffs in 9 and 7. They clinched the NFC East Sunday Night Football on NBC Week 17, 2011.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, every time the Cowboys have played on opening night kickoff, the two games prior to tonight, they're 1-1. As you mentioned, the game in 21 was fantastic. The game was fantastic.
Yep.
And here's the other thing. You can discount the Cowboys at your own risk. I think they might surprise some people because whenever you don't expect much from them going into a season, that's when they deliver, at least if you're going off of what they did in 21.
Yeah, I mean, again, the D in Dallas stands for drama, and when you least expect it, it's right there for you.
It is, and certainly there will be no shortage of drama throughout training camp and leading into opening night. 115 days away from at the day that we recorded this, May 12th of 2025. September 4th, we'll be waiting all summer long for that day. All right, so we've got two more schedules to get to, mock schedules, and we still can do this because we don't know officially. We've seen some schedule leaks, Chase. You may have seen some international games leaked, and notice what team is not on there.
Yeah.
The Bengals are not one of those teams. So it sounds like they're not going to play in Spain, but that's okay. So I'm going to reveal on today's show my Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football mock schedules. Here's a bit of a tease, Chase. In my Monday Night mock schedule, there is a matchup that will be played in primetime for the fourth consecutive season, but it will be played on the fourth different network and the fourth different day of the week. So what matchup could I be referring to?
Well, Alex, I don't want to be the bearer of, I'm not going to say bad news, but I do have a scheduled update that is official from Fox.
A scheduled update that's official from Fox? What have we here?
We have a Saturday doubleheader on December the 20th.
Oh, I'm seeing this.
So what do we have here? We've got the first game. I'll let you announce the first game if you want. I'll do the second game.
So the first game is a classic, Packers versus Bears.
I mean, you can't get more classic than that. You can't beat the classics, you know. But then we see the Philadelphia Eagles once again. We see them again, and they go to Washington to take on the Commanders.
Wow.
I mean, wow, this is
a Saturday doubleheader on Fox. So that would be Saturday, December the 20th.
20th, and you're thinking about it, that's also the same day as the college football playoff.
Yep, it's the first day. It's the second day, the triple header day. Remember last year Ohio State played Tennessee, as you know. So, and my cousin just texted me the update on that. So So Fox has a double header. I wonder how the commentating pairs are going to work.
They've got time to figure that out.
I would think I mean, man, that is. So you get the oldest rivalry in the NFL, and then you get a rivalry that has been revived. I mean, how great is that? I mean,
you can't get much better than that, you know.
And the NFC gets the day to themselves.
Yeah.
And then not only that. So we have that on Saturday. We have the CBS Sports Classic, Pope versus Patino, the captain versus the coach in Catlanta. That's what they call Atlanta down at the University of Kentucky. So that's going to be an eventful day. We are breaking news as we are recording this podcast. Maybe Prime Video will drop a game. Excuse me. As we continue to record this. See, now I'm nerding on NFL. Says NFL schedule release. Man. So that could be like, what do you think that could be? Like a 1-4-25 doubleheader, like 1-4-30, or maybe 4:30 and 8:15. Like, I don't know how they're gonna structure that. Like, are they gonna put like the Eagles Commanders up against the Saturday primetime college football playoff game?
I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, the NFL, this is the NFL. So like anything is in question. Like anything is in play, not in question. But I would think they would do what they did last year, because you're looking at two divisional matchups. One at one, they're going to have competition, obviously, with 2 of the 3 time slots, regardless of what way they go. They're not going to have a 1 o'clock game and an 8 o'clock game, no big gap in between. They're both on Fox. It's a doubleheader. So I would assume that they would go 1 and 4:30, and then the night game for college football would be such a big one if they get that matchup and everything else. I like. Again, the NFL has gone on, and they've obviously now doing a triple header on Christmas, and they're going to continue to do that for years to come. And now that's, obviously in competition, direct competition with the NBA. I mean, the NFL is king when it comes to media coverage and everything else in the United States of America. But I do feel as though they're going to leave that night slot for college football. But again, you never know.
You never know. And I also think like 1 and 4:30 for these 2 games, those are great time slots for those games. Like the first game's in Chicago, so that's going to be like, it's going to be noon Central Time out there. And don't forget too, as you mentioned, Chase, the night college football playoff game is usually ESPN and ABC.
Yeah.
The afternoon games last year, at least, they were both on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not looking at too much competition there. I mean, you are. It is competition, but I think the NFL would respect the college football playoff. And by the way, Eagles Commanders, last year they played in week 16. That game turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, it did. And it was a big time one for the Commanders, to say the least.
Yeah, that was Jaden Daniels says. I mean, he had a coming out party here in Cincinnati, but it was that game where he showed that he could beat the elite teams in the NFC. Okay, so week 16, Saturday doubleheader on Fox. We've got the Packers and Bears divisional rivalry, and then we've got the Eagles and the Commanders, another divisional rivalry. Man, the NFC, I mean, look, Fox has been broadcasting NFC games since 1994. I mean, my goodness, you'll probably get Joe Davis and Greg Olson in Chicago along with Pam Oliver, and then you'll get the Lee crew in Washington for an NFC Championship rematch. Now, here's what I would question, Chase. So how on my schedule wish list, I said I want Commanders, Eagles, and Philly week 18. Can you imagine if that was the first of 2 matchups in 3 weeks between the Eagles and the Commanders?
It's very possible, though. It really is. You've seen that before with some of these divisional matchups. I mean, you've seen that 2 times in 3 weeks type of deal. So, one, it's very possible, and 2, that pretty much solidifies that CBS will get the doubleheader the next day. That they'll have the main 4:25 game for week 16. So again, if you want to take that with a grain of salt, on Sunday, December 21st, there's your CBS game at 4:25 on Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Also earlier today, NBC Sports Press Box issued a press release saying that Peacock is going to have an exclusive primetime game on Saturday, December 27th. That's week 17. The interesting thing there, Chase, is obviously NFL Network's triple header on Saturday was in week 17 last year. So that sounds like it's going to be in week 15 this year now, because week 16 belongs to Fox.
It's such a weird one, because you think about it, do they move it up that early to week 15? And not early like week 15, meaning that's, because they've obviously done week 15 before. Okay. Like they did it 2 years back with the Bengals and the Vikings that entire day. And, there was, and then I think it was Steelers, Colts, and then Broncos, Lions. They did that on week 15. But with that being on December the 13th, being, obviously this is the earliest that an NFL season has started since they went back to, having the games start the Sunday after Labor Day. So this is the earliest that it can go on a rotation, starting on September 4th and then September 7th being a Sunday. But I don't know, because it's not like if they did, the NFL Network might just end up doing a double header on week 17, and then everyone just goes to Peacock right after.
Now, see, that's an interesting proposition. I did think about that, because if you move it back to week 15, which, as you said, they did it in 23, they also did it in 2022. You may remember the epic comeback that our guy Noah Eagle called Colts Vikings, then the Ravens Browns game, and then the great Dolphins Bills game on Saturday night. So, I mean, but week 15 that year, the Saturday was like December 17th, which is much more realistic for that triple header.
Yeah.
But like, here's the other thing. The Heisman Trophy presentation, I think, could be on December 13th. Are you going to have an NFL game compete with that? I don't think so. Now, you could have a doubleheader that day, but then there's also college basketball on ESPN, big rivalry week, as you know, and I know as well.
Yeah.
So if you move it to December 27th, but then it's like, where does NBC have like their single game? Like, do they put that in week 15? Or, I mean, does NBC then call a week 18 game in advance of the ESPN ABC doubleheader that they usually have? Like, could they do that? Like,
does NBC call a game? That
I would think.
I would think. But again, it's like, it's such a weird thing, because if you think about week 17 now, you're looking at Thursday being a triple header, 2 Netflix and a Prime.
Yeah.
And then you've got, if you went double header for NFL Network plus the Peacock game, that's 6 games already on Thursday and Saturday.
And those are all standalone games. Plus you've got Sunday Night Football week 17. Then you have Monday Night Football. I mean, here's what they could do. They could do a game on the 26th, that Friday.
And I had that same thought too. They could get weird. They could get really weird and try it,
I mean,
never know.
I mean, this is like, see, this is what we enjoy talking about here.
Yeah.
Like do. I saw someone earlier today, and may have been the NFL Leaks Twitter account, say, like, this is a multi-day holiday. And you know what it is? Because I mean, we are leaking games left and right. And by the way, I was a little disappointed at first. I don't know if disappointed is the right word. I was a little, I'll say, underwhelmed when I saw that Google YouTube was going to broadcast the Brazil game, or potentially broadcast the Brazil game. You know what? I think this is a very good thing, actually.
Say that one more time. Huh?
Google YouTube, so YouTube TV, was going to broadcast the Brazil game.
Like it's confirmed.
I don't think it is not confirmed yet.
Okay.
It's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
I was just reading a report that it is potentially going to happen. That was from Andrew Marchand in The Athletic. Like, that's not been confirmed by any means.
Okay.
But the more I thought about that, because like I thought Peacock would call that game and then NBC would have a game later in the season. But like the NFL schedule, like last year I heard Rich Eisen's wife, Susie Schuster, say this. It's like looking at air traffic control. You have all these different days of games and where they are. Like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing that Fox has a Saturday doubleheader. I mean, this is like, wowzers.
I mean,
and on top of all this, Chase, there was news this morning about Rich Eisen making a return to ESPN in some capacity.
Yeah.
And potentially his show, The Rich Eisen Show, which currently airs on the Roku channel and distributed by Westwood One, is going to be on ESPN Radio.
That's a revival.
So, by the way, it's so interesting. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The NBA is going back to NBC. Rich Eisen's going back to ESPN. So, I mean, both he and the Washington Commanders are going back to the future. So when they made that movie in the 80s, maybe this is what they envisioned.
Oh, yeah, and then Michael Jordan's going to be on the NBA and NBC as a contributor. So that's totally so small. Like, what?
Can you imagine if, like, you and I were to ever, like, if this podcast was ever to be signed by NBC Sports, we can be like, hey, Mom, you want to meet my new colleague, Michael?
Like, we're the name tag, like, oh, Michael, hey, it's you. Like,
I mean, that to put that piece of news on this kind of day, like, I mean, that's a bold move, but okay.
Yeah, this is Christmas, man. It's Christmas all over again.
You're dropping like 272 Christmas presents upon us, and then what you're doing is like you're letting us open some of them in the days leading up to Christmas.
Exactly.
Like this is what the NFL does. Any chance the NFL gets to flex its muscle, they're going to do.
And there's so many muscles on top of those muscles that it's just a process. That will flex this one. Yeah, it's pretty much that.
Yeah. I mean, it just like next year we're having a game in Australia, for crying out loud. Which
They've already announced the opponent. They've already announced that it's the Eagles and Rams. Like,
have they officially announced it's going to be Eagles Rams?
I'm pretty sure they have.
Like, are the Eagles? Do they? Oh yeah, they do play the NFC West next year. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. But the fact that that's going to be, I mean, this is a topic for another show, but like the fact that that's going to be in week 1 and you're expecting the teams to fly all the way back, like that, I mean, that is jet lag waiting to happen.
Yeah, that and that's another schedule release from now. We haven't even gotten this one yet.
Oh, jeez. My gosh. Just schedule season has now become a thing. And anybody who tells you, like I've heard people say like the nonsense of schedule release and some variation of it. Like for people like you and me and for others, like they live for this week in the off season.
Oh, easily, man. Easily.
Okay. All right. Should we show? Chase. I think I should just run through my Monday night and Thursday night football mock schedules.
Yeah, speed run through this because I want to hear the intriguing stuff, and then maybe by the time you're done, Prime Video drops something.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Chase is going to be on breaking news alert. This is what we do here. We communicate, unlike some people who aren't communicating. All right. Excuse me. Speaking of which, week 1 Monday Night Football. I think I announced this on the last show. The Bengals and Vikings. You want to talk about talent that would be on the field for that game, wherever it's going to be played, or whatever week. There's going to be a lot of talent there. Week 2, 2 shades of blue under blue skies and bright sunshine in LA. Colts Chargers. Used to be one of the premier matchups every season from like 04 through 09. Let's bring that back. Week 3 doubleheader. 7:15 on ESPN, Giants, Cowboys. Now, you may be wondering why that's not on ABC. But when you have Lions, Commanders as a playoff rematch from a year ago, that game deserves to be on ABC in Washington, 8:30. Week 4, they may have to have some kind of like alternate broadcast. I don't know what kind of alternate broadcast it would look like. But for Dolphins, Falcons, 2 left-handed quarterbacks, 7:30 on ESPN. 8:15 on ABC. I'm not messing around here. Patriots and Ravens in Baltimore. All right. Week 5. No place I'd rather be for a Monday Night Football game, first Monday night of October, than in San Francisco. 49ers hosting. Chase, I'm going to steal one of your ideas. The Panthers.
I like it.
Panthers, Niners, Monday Night Football, Week 5. Let's see if the Panthers are going to legitimately take that next step. And as you said, who are the 49ers? Are they more 23 or are they more 2024? Week 6, they were a Saturday night game on NFL Network in 22. They were a Sunday Night Football game Week 18 and 23. They were a Thursday Night Football game Week 2 and 24. Now they're a Monday Night Football game Week 6, 2025. Chase, what matchup am I referring to?
You said, what is Dolphins-Bills?
It is Dolphins-Bills. Bills-Dolphins in Miami, Week 6, one of my favorite rivalries in the NFL. Week 7, another doubleheader, 8:15 on ESPN, Chargers and Raiders. I think you're going to see the Raiders a lot in prime time early. They have sneakily had a good offseason. Mm-hmm. And then the ABC game, Jets-Buccaneers. By the way, the Buccaneers will have multiple primetime home games this season, or at least they better.
They need to.
Week 8. It's been 20 years since they won Super Bowl 40 in Detroit. Now the Lions are really good. Steelers-Lions. You have that as a Sunday night game in Week 8. I went with Monday night in Week 8. Week 9, Denver and Philly. In Philadelphia. We don't see this matchup often, but when you have the opportunity to put it in primetime, you should. Monday Night Football. Week 10, Jaden Daniels' measuring stick game at Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's the Any rising star or superstar quarterback, that's his measuring stick game.
Yep.
Week 11, I'm going to go with the Texans and the Ravens. You want to talk about measuring stick? You know what the combined score of the last 3 Ravens-Texans games are?
Don't know. A lot too little.
It is a lot too little. Correct answer, 90-21. Baltimore 11-3 against the Texans. I'm sorry, 11-2 against the Texans since Houston, the Texans were born in 2002, or founded, I should say, established. Week 12. This is an interesting one, Chase. Cardinals and Packers in Green Bay. Week 13, Chiefs and Giants in New York. Week 14, the last 2 times this matchup has been played in this city, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have been on the call. Now that they're with Monday Night Football and this matchup can happen this year, Cowboys-Broncos in Denver. Week 15, doubleheader, first up, 8 o'clock ABC, Seahawks-Rams, Cooper Kupp's return to L.A. The ESPN game at 8:30, Saints-Buccaneers. Week 16, it could be the second homecoming for Kirk Cousins and Minnesota. So Falcons and Vikings in Minneapolis. And then the best for last, week 17. How about Bengals-Bills?
I rock with those. I do. And I think an interesting one. I really love that Cowboys-Broncos one. I really love the Cowboys-Broncos one because whenever those 2 teams meet up, it's especially in Denver. It's those 2 are always playing some sort of a big game. Chiefs-Giants, seeing Mahomes in the big city is going to be nice in the Big Apple. I like that Dolphins-Bills game. If the Dolphins can try to get things right, they can give the Bills a run for their money. Usually they play better in Buffalo than it comes to playing down on Miami, it feels like.
I don't know why that is. That is weird, though.
It's really odd how that is. But yeah, I really enjoyed the entire schedule overall. And funny enough, as you were reading through that schedule, I just got some college football scheduling news.
College football scheduling news. Okay, we can
trying to get in on the party.
We are all about college.
I'm not entirely surprised by this, but Texas and Ohio State's going to be a big noon kickoff on August the 30th.
Okay, so hopefully College Game Day will be there, which means Lee Corso can put on the Brutus headgear in the stadium one more time. That is great news there.
And another thing that I was thinking about, not news, but another thought, Oz the NFL on there, as well as him in the NFL, nerding on NFL. They've done a good job with this coverage. Real possibility that 2, if not all 4 of these teams, regarding the Fox doubleheader, play on the following Thursday, December 25th. We didn't think about that. Think about it. You could possibly have Bears at Washington for that game.
Ooh.
As your, number 1 versus number 2 pick game. And you could have Eagles-Packers, classic rivalry. Not, classic rivalry in the past. So
They've played some epic battles, including that playoff game in 2003, Freddie Mitchell, 4th and 26. So, I mean, excuse me, something will start my throat there. I did think about that, actually, but I was like, you don't have to because I'm not saying you have to. Like last year, because of the unique circumstances, Chase, of Christmas being on a Wednesday, the teams that you were going to play on Christmas had to have played in week 16.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a little kind of like a bind that you were in with the schedule last year. I don't think you're in that this year because you could have teams play on Christmas this year on Thursday that played on Sunday because that's your normal Sunday to Thursday if you have to, be in that short week transition.
Exactly.
Speaking of Thursday night football, here is my Thursday night football mock schedule. By the way, Prime Video broadcasts keep getting better and better as the seasons continue. And Al Michaels has not lost a step by any means. So there you go. Okay, week 2 started off on the bang, Chase. This rivalry used to rule the 80s and early 90s. Do you have any guesses as to what that matchup is?
Rule the 80s and the early 90s, and it's not Dolphins-Bills.
It is not Dolphins-Bills.
Obviously. Ruled the 80s and the 90s?
It did.
Give me a conference.
It is a conference rivalry, and the two teams in this rivalry combined to win 6 Super Bowls in 10 years at one point in the 80s and early 90s.
I'm going to go on ahead and say that the Niners and the Giants started off.
That is correct.
Wow. Okay.
Think about this.
All right.
On 9/11, which is the Thursday night of week 2 this season, to have the Niners in their white jerseys with red numbers and the Giants in their blue jerseys. That's going to be a great color scheme. And the NFL, and you would agree with me on this, I'm sure, the NFL does a terrific job remembering the 9/11 attacks every single season that there's a game on that day.
They do. They definitely do.
Okay, so we have on that date, I should say, the Niners-Giants week 2. Week 3, I've got Vikings-Seahawks. Now, if these international leaks are true and the Vikings are going overseas for 2 straight games, that may not happen. But for now, we're going Vikings-Seahawks. Week 4, Jets-Bengals in Cincinnati. Little homecoming of sorts for Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Can't forget about him. Week 5, Chargers-Jaguars. You
did mention this to me before.
Travis Hunter should be a good draw, considering that his college head coach has a documentary on Prime that'll get their viewers, those other viewers, to tune in. Week 6, man, I'd be so happy if Raiders Broncos got back onto the primetime slate.
I would love that. Especially in Denver too. I would enjoy that a lot.
In the Rocky Mountains, Raiders and Broncos in week 6. Week 7, Lions Vikings, classic NFC North matchup. Those two teams played 2 compelling games last year, including the Sunday Night Football winner-take-all game in Week 18. Week 8, we are going to go with the Cardinals and the Panthers.
Okay.
2 former Heisman Trophy winners and number 1 overall picks.
I like it a lot.
Week 9. Chase, do you happen to remember what the first Thursday Night Football on NBC game was back in 2016, which was played in Week 9?
I do remember. I remember Pentatonics went on ahead and sang a theme and happened to be the Falcons and the Bucks on Thursday night, so let's go.
We're going to go Falcons, Buccaneers in Tampa Bay the night before Halloween with the pirate ship and the birds of prey coming swooping in. Sounds like a good marketing pitch there.
There we go.
Week 10, Bills-Texans.
Ooh.
Bills-Texans in Houston, yes. Week 11, we're going to go Seahawks 49ers. By the way, these two teams have played on Thursday night, including Thanksgiving in 23, each of the last 3 years in Seattle. It's about time it's in San Francisco, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, a little switcheroo. Let's what?
Yes. Week 12, Titans Jaguars. And before any of you say, what are you doing putting an AFC South matchup in prime time? Well, the AFC South has some intriguing storylines.
They definitely do. There's no doubt about it. Young players all over the place.
Plus, Cam Ward will be playing against Travis Hunter. Literally.
1-2.
Exactly. Week 13, obviously, Prime Video Black Friday, Rams Falcons, which I've mentioned before. Week 14, and worked out perfectly, Chase, because I have the Steelers and Chargers playing on Thanksgiving, so they'll play the next Thursday. Steelers, Chargers in Los Angeles. Al Michaels has called plenty of those games before, and all of them have been classics.
Yeah, they have. Let's do another one.
Week 15, Giants, Eagles in Philadelphia. Week 16, Commanders, Cowboys in Dallas. And then week 17 on Christmas night, Chiefs, Broncos in Denver.
You know, that is such a good schedule when it comes to that, right? Because I like that Chargers-Jags game just from, Travis Hunter getting the first time out there and the rematch between those two at night when Al Michaels – when he called the playoff game and everything else. And when you mentioned Steelers Chargers, that number of the amount of times that Al Michaels has called the last, what is it, 6 of the last 11, or is it 8 of the last 11 he's called?
It's 5 or 6. I know, okay, so it was 06, 09, 18, 21, and 19 on Sunday Night Football. So that's 5 Sunday night, and then you add the Monday night, 5, make it 6. You're right, 6.
I mean, that's incredible, and they just need to keep it going. And they've all been great match. I don't know. It's just a really good matchup, especially to the eyes when you look at it, those two teams. And
yeah, I mean, the white and gold of the Steelers and the Chargers and their blue, and I mean, yeah, it just makes for a good there's the terrible towels in LA. And here's the thing, too. Pittsburgh won't be on a short week going all the way out to the West Coast. It'll be a normal week in between games. So it makes sense to have a matchup like this.
Well,
Okay.
we've got one more schedule leak for you. This is interesting. We've seen this team already leak twice, and we've seen this team leak once.
No.
We've got a Black Friday game for you, just as you mentioned it, but it's not the game that you picked. And I really like the matchup you picked, but it's not going to be that. It's the Chicago Bears at the Philadelphia Eagles, Black Friday, 3:00 p.m. from Lincoln Financial Field.
Okay, I like Black Friday in Philadelphia because, I mean, and the Eagles could wear like their black jerseys.
Yeah, they can.
You know what? I can rock with this.
Get behind it.
I mean, here's the thing. You're going to see, because the NFC East plays the NFC North, you're going to see a lot of those games on national television and in primetime.
Yeah.
I guarantee it, Chase. You'll see it.
Yeah.
I like that it's the NFC gets Black Friday this year. The AFC's gotten it the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a non-divisional matchup.
Yeah. Yeah. They went out of the comfort zone in the last 2 years.
Okay. Well, that is some major breaking news. So Fox and Prime Video take advantage of. Oh, by the way, Fox also announced that the game. This may not be a shock to you, but the game between Ohio State and the team up north will be on Saturday, November 29th.
Yeah.
That'll be a big noon kickoff game. So, yeah, okay. So, I guess college football's trying to get in on the party here a little bit.
Yeah, they're seeing their piece and wanting to get a piece of the pie, man. But interesting. We've seen 3 Eagles leaks today.
3. Okay, so we've seen. Well, 2 have been confirmed.
Yeah, 2 have been confirmed. I'm pretty sure that this one's about to get confirmed with the Prime Video one. So
now tomorrow we get a huge dose. We get the international games on Good Morning Football, and we get a game on ESPN ABC, the Good Morning America.
Who says it's not a doubleheader though? That could be 2 games that we get.
Usually Tuesdays when like all the leaks start coming out. And then Wednesday is just like all the leaks are like, they lead to the, ultimate. You might see some surprises by that point on the main schedule that comes out at 8.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going to say this: the Packers' entire schedule it's a tradition that the Packers' entire schedule gets leaked before like 1:00 on Wednesday. It's just it's just a tradition at this point that their schedule gets entirely leaked. I find
it interesting that of all teams is the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know. It makes it more interesting of the fact that the Bengals are on their schedule this year. So that's obviously another reason why I'm going to keep my eyes even more.
So what you're saying is we could know when the Bengals-Packers game is by 1:00 on as long as the game is not at 1:00.
Yes. And I think we're also going to know the week 1 games by around before 6:00 is usually what they've done the last couple of years is we know the week 1 opponent going in.
I saw a headline on NBC Sports today that said that asked, could we see, a division matchup dominated week 1 primetime slate? Because we've seen the leak that it's Chiefs, Chargers in Brazil.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay, well, what divisional matchup could we see in week 1 on Sunday Night Football? Do we see like a Bears Packers in Lambeau? Do we see maybe we run it back? JJ McCarthy goes back home to Detroit to Michigan to face the Lions. Like, I mean, you could dig that, wouldn't you?
I would take that. And then maybe you run a Lamar Burrow game. You never know.
You do never know. I mean, the Bengals could be on Monday night. I mean, Paul Dehner Jr. in his mock schedule in the Athletics says the Bengals will host it. He believes the Bengals will host the Steelers Monday Night Football week 1, which, I mean, we saw that Monday night game in week 2 back in 2013. So, I mean, there's so but man, like, how about Fox and Prime Video? Like, now Prime Video hasn't officially announced that yet.
Not officially, but it's.
But if they do, then then both networks are saying, are taking this day because last year Fox did their week 1 game. It was Dallas and Cleveland, which was Brady's debut. And then Prime Video comes out with Bills Dolphins, their first Thursday night game of the season, week 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now this year they're going their marquee games. Like they're going their big broadcast days, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it interesting. And I'm excited to see what CBS does Wednesday, because the last 2 years they've announced Bengals Chiefs both of those days. Like that's not on the schedule anymore. You've still got your Bills Chiefs game, which is always a moneymaker for CBS. Now you've got Ravens Chiefs, Ravens Bills, Bengals Bills. A lot of Bills games to say the least. But I'm intrigued to see on if, last year they obviously announced that Bengals Chiefs game week 2. And then the year before they announced the Bengals Chiefs AFC Championship rematch, or the 3 times in a row, in week 17. So which one are they going to go? Are they going to go later in the season like Fox is doing and announce that one? Or are they going to go early in the season and give you something right off the bat?
It felt like last year that all the big matchups were early in the season. Now, there were still some huge matchups later in the season, but a lot of the leaks that were announced were like big time matchups, like Ravens Chiefs and Rams Lions and Jets Niners and Bengals Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, so now we're seeing week 1, we're seeing week 16, we're seeing Black Friday, and my cousin texted me that the Bengals don't play on the Saturday before Christmas, so if Ohio State is playing a home game in the playoff, which I mean, you kind of hope they aren't, because if they are, that means they didn't win the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
But if they are, like they were last year, you don't have to worry about the Bengals playing a game. You can focus on Ohio State.
Yeah. And another thing is Josh Allen's going to be on the Today Show on Wednesday.
Well, so what you're saying is...
That's confirmed, by the way, that he's going to be on the Today Show.
NBC Sports confirmed that earlier this afternoon. You are right.
And NBC really likes the Bills. Josh Allen's probably going to be on there from what the block of time looks like, he might be on there for about an hour. So, you're telling me that he's going to be on there for an hour and there's not going to be any sort of a schedule leak at all?
Here's how it'll end. Like, they'll bring out Mike Tirico and be like, "Hey, Josh, we're looking forward to seeing you and Joe Burrow week 1 Sunday Night Football."
And that's been the rumor that's been running around, is that it's Ravens Bills or Bengals Bills on SNF week 1.
Either way.
Oh my goodness. But I have to say, if it ends up being Bengals Bills, like, I truly don't know how my mind would process that. The Bengals playing an opening SNF game on the road. An opening SNF game to begin with, to begin the season number 20 of SNF. I don't know how, I would be ecstatic, but I don't know how I would process that, be like, overdrive, to say the least.
Well, I mean, I think part of that is because the fear that you would fall to 0-1 for a 4th straight year.
Yeah, that's that being.
Now, if you win that game, if you win in Buffalo week 1, if you go into Buffalo and win week 1, maybe start looking at plane reservations to San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean.
By the way, Chase, I was talking with some friends of mine, one who's a Bills fan, another one who's a Bengals fan. And so we're talking about if it is a week 1 Sunday night game, going to the game in Buffalo. Now, I'm told that the stadium is in a neighborhood. And so I said, and so he's like, you can't take a lot. There aren't like a lot of highways to get to the stadium. And I said, oh. And he goes, yeah, for a 1 o'clock game, we leave at 7 a.m. I'm like, oh. So I'm like, what do you do after the game? He's like, oh, we usually just tailgate.
Oh.
So I said, oh, okay. So if I get hungry after a game, which I typically do, we should just pack extra bratwursts and such.
I guess.
I mean, can you if what I'm envisioning here is true, we might be tailgating all afternoon.
If Bengals Bills happens on week 1 SNF, that first Sunday is just going to, like, I don't even, it's not like a kid in a candy shop or anything like that. It's not even that. It's, or a kid on Christmas Day. Like, it's like, I used to pray for times like this.
This is like,
if it happens, obviously, but
I mean, my friend already said that he's planning to take off work that Monday, which the Monday before is Labor Day. You know, I mean, what's wrong with having Labor Day 2 Mondays in a row, though?
I don't see any problem with it at all. I think.
Can you imagine? Like, you know, we always like talk about the first game, and obviously the importance of it in Cincinnati. I mean, it's become that way because of what's happened. But like,
yeah,
if you know that it's Buffalo on Sunday Night Football, like you're playing in the first game, you are a primetime game. You are on Primetime's #1 show. You are waiting all day for Sunday night. And as they say, the tough do get rough in a primetime fight.
The last one standing gets to turn on the lights.
This is true. I mean, like, I can't even, like, I'm trying to think, like, who would lead the Let's Go Buffalo chants on the field at the game? Like, I mean, there is just, I mean, like, do the Bills go with their whites and the Bengals with their blacks? Like, do the Bengals go with their white Bengal on, you know, Sunday night week 1? Like, I mean, it's like, this is the playoff matchup we almost got last year, but it's like, let's see how it would have played out right off the bat.
Yeah, and you know what? You know where you can find our reactions? Literally right here on Thursday morning. Because guess what? We're waiting all day for Sunday night. That's all we are.
Yes. Now, Chase, you want to explain, like, you have a very busy, you and I both actually have pretty eventful days on Wednesday. So you're going to P. Rose night at Great American Ballpark. So then literally, because it's the beauty of living downtown, which both of us will be eventually, you're going to walk back to the apartment or run back or sprint back, whatever.
Yep.
And we are going to record, maybe go live. We don't know yet officially. But we're going to do a reaction show to the NFL schedule. We'll go through the primetime game schedule. It's kind of like 30,000-foot view. And then we want to hear from you. What do you want to know more about the NFL schedule? Like, what nuts and bolts, what, like, specifics you want us to cover? We'll do that on the next show, which we'll tell you when that will be.
You'll hear us on Thursday morning, and you'll have everything that you need covered about the craziness of the NFL schedule release from Wednesday night.
The craziness, and then whatever teams are upset with the NFL schedule, which hopefully there won't be too many of those. I'm looking to see if there's any more leaks. Does not appear to be any more leaks. The Prime Video hasn't leaked anything. Fox, I mean, we already know what. I mean, that is a monster doubleheader.
Yeah, and if you're looking for more leaks, hey, go to the app called Twitter. You'll find it.
By the way, this new Fox streaming service that they're launching, Fox One, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Okay, but hey, we know the first game of the NFL season. We know the first game, Chase.
Yep.
Early predictions.
Mm-hmm. I'm not making a pick on that game.
You're not making a pick yet on.
Nope.
I'm not making a pick either. But like,
hell no.
I can see it being like 30-23 Philly. But if Philly blows out Dallas, here's the thing: these two teams get so heavily scrutinized. The next day, you're not going to hear much about the upcoming week. It's going to be about the game the night before.
It's going to be about who lost the game. Is what's going to be.
Yes. And I'm sure you will hear from one Stephen A. Smith if the Cowboys lose.
Indeed.
Okay, Chase, you want to close us out on this Jekyll and Hyde weather kind of day here in Southwest Ohio?
You go back and forth, like offense goes and defense as well. And
just like Burrow and Jackson did last year.
Back and forth they go. We're at the start of the week, but you know what? On this podcast, we're always waiting all day for Sunday night. We'll see you guys next time here on the Waiting All Day